we are back with more Andrew Fox Show. James, you really embarrassed me with the Wine Boys.
I'm sorry. Wine is
What was
my
that?
thing. I had a reaction to the wine.
You had a reaction?
Some kind of
Was your throat?
chemical or physical reaction
Okay.
where I had to get rid of the wine.
Oh yeah, well you did.
It was cheap mid-range wine.
Alright, well I'm not interviewing you. We got a big guest here tonight. Shut up. We're really excited he's here. That's what I say.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited too.
I really don't know how to set this up.
Oh, then you want me to introduce him?
Oh yeah, if you're gonna offer.
Yeah.
Just don't spit up on him.
Spit up on you. Give it up for the very funny Troy Moore.
Wow. Wow.
What's up?
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Where do you want me?
Here, yeah. Seat of honor.
Smells like alcohol and sex in here.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Yeah, I just got double teamed by the Wine
The
Boys.
wine boys.
Yeah.
I hear they dish it out.
They do.
Yeah, all over.
The Wine
Related to
Boys,
Harvey Weinstein, actually.
They are,
shit.
yeah.
You know they're coming with the sex game if they're related to that pervert.
The one has post-traumatic stress. Enjoy.
What's up?
Hey,
How
truth
are
be
you?
told, we're doing this the second time.
Second
Is that
time
okay?
around. That's the second
Is that
time.
okay for me to say?
That's fine.
It means so much for me that you care that much.
I do. I wanted to make it good, and I wanted to make myself look like not as much a piece of shit as the first time around.
You're a
Which
pro.
will be buried in the Andrew Fox Show archives until
I'm bumping this
it
episode
surfaces
up.
when I get real big, and then I'll be the next Louis C.K. hopefully.
No, I'm bumping this
Shunned
up.
throughout the masses.
Got Troy Moore and the Wine Boys. This is a big show. I have no idea.
This is it. Is
So-
this the season finale?
Yeah, this is the series.
Season 1, episode 12.
We
Wine
ran out of
Boys
guests.
Headlining Troy Moore. Wow.
Yeah, this is a
Can't
big
believe
deal. It's like Bill Murray closing out Letterman. But it says here I'm supposed to ask you. This is
Ask
you're a
away.
stand-up,
I am a stand-up.
and
Stand-up
you're
guy.
leaps and bounds ahead of us two.
Oh.
And I hesitate even to ask this question because I'm just gonna feel bad about myself. But how long have you been doing stand-up? Then?
It'll be 6 years
6 years.
in April.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wow. See now I feel bad about myself.
Now I've been writing before then though.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to start writing. That's what
yeah.
I need to do.
Yeah. I probably started writing maybe close to 2 years before I ever performed.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you one of those guys who was like pretty decent right when you started?
I
Yes. Don't be modest.
not good, but I remember early on people saying I had a good stage presence,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't bother me to be in front of people,
Okay.
you know? And I think that's the first real hurdle to
Yeah.
get over
Mm-hmm.
is your delivery, and then once you find that, like everything just kind of clicks,
Exactly.
you know?
I'm just getting there.
Oh,
Well, so you were writing 2 years before you
Yeah.
started. Where did that inspiration come from?
I remember being about like 9 years old and watching Chris Rock and just like how he talks about just the most horrible shit,
Yeah.
but unites everybody in the room. Like to do that, I wanted to do that, you know? And then life really started fucking me. And I said, hey, I can make this funny in a way, and
Yeah.
started just, putting it down.
Wow.
And never really did it until I was in college at Rowan, and my frat was putting on a talent show. So I was in the fraternity, did the whole fraternity thing,
Yeah.
and they needed a spot filled, and I was a newer guy, so they basically hazed me into doing stand-up.
Is that when life started fucking you in the ass?
Yeah, that's right about that time. Yeah, literally. Fraternity getting fucked in the ass. But and then from then on, it was like I got a taste of it.
Yeah.
So then I went to my first open mic, which was at Helium. I signed up at
really?
Helium.
Wow.
Yeah. And that went okay.
It was easier to get on back then.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. They would take anybody new. You signed up, you still signed up online.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do the whole walk up thing they do now.
Yeah.
But they would take a lot of new names. I remember. Like,
Yeah. What is your favorite joke you've ever written?
favorite one I've ever written.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or do you remember the first time you like really talked about how shit your life was on stage?
I was writing a lot when my dad was in jail and I still gave a fuck about him. So
Yeah.
I was putting that down. And one of my jokes I still use today is about him being in jail. I like
That's
that
a good
one.
joke. Yeah.
I have a joke about being a teacher though, where it ends with like a priest joke. And I think that's probably still my favorite one I've ever written.
Eureka! I got one.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because the next question, it says a large portion of your comedy was inspired by stories from teaching school.
Yeah, it was.
Were you worried that once you didn't do that anymore, you would lose inspiration?
See, no, because I'm trying to not talk about that at all anymore.
Yeah.
And even when I was doing them, like I'm tired of those teacher jokes because they're just like, everybody after a show will come up to me and say, well, where do you teach at? And it's just so annoying because I'm now even more than back then, I'm not doing it anymore. So I have to explain like I was a teacher and now I'm just a hack that relies on these jokes to make
I
people
hate
laugh.
all my occupational jokes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you end all the jokes with, and that's why I'm not a teacher anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
Problem solved.
So like there's ways to kind of get around it, but I want to completely like scratch all the teaching material, which is right now I have it down to probably like 5 minutes, so it's not really that much. But I've been using the one as a closer for a while, and I'm in the process of kind of building that end of my set to be strong. Like I have some stuff in the works right now that I'm working on, but I'm still holding on to it. I gotta let it go, man. I really do.
That's tough when you get tired of your own jokes.
Yeah.
I think I burn as many as I write, so I consistently only have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I could have like a half hour by now if I just brought all that shit back. But what do you enjoy most about being a comedian?
I enjoy just being able to have that like strength to have your name called and to go up in front of a room full of people
Yeah.
and just take what you have made just alone in your room, you know, and turn that into something that everybody enjoys.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty cool just to be able to like be a total piece of shit and sitting at a laptop drunk.
Is that how you write?
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of it, I wake up the next morning, I'm like, oh, fuck, I wrote that.
What are you mining in your life right now for your stand-up comedy?
A lot of relationship stuff. Like, I've been with the same girl for 8 years now. Trying to work that angle.
Yeah.
And we've had some stuff go on in her life and in mine too that we've both been affected by, and trying to kind of like, it's all about, for me, making, you know, the most horrible shit that happens funny to other people.
Exactly.
So, but that's tough because there's that line where like, oh, this is actually sad, and then you change a couple words around and, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's like that, you gotta find that balance, and that's what I'm working on now, you know.
You probably more than most people I know in our scene get the opportunity to do like real shows.
Yeah.
How do you judge a joke like from an open mic setting to a real show setting? Like, how do you feel like that? How do you get confidence behind a new joke?
So, now that I am, like, I host a lot at the Comedy Cabaret.
Yeah.
I get booked on, you know, some random fundraiser stuff, and I work for Vince Valentine. It becomes to a point where you're doing regular stuff so much that you can just kind of use that as your open mic. I don't want to sound like a dick, but like, you know, it's like I'm gonna sprinkle in this new bit here that I already know is not gonna work at the open mic because it's too like I try to write cleaner for these shows, and at the open mic, I try to go, you know, like for the shock and you know
Yeah.
that stuff. It's like because like a comedian crowd is completely different than regular people. Like when comedians are laughing at your stuff, it usually means it's not gonna work
It's not
for
gonna
regular
work,
people.
exactly.
You know, because we all have like really dark sense of humors. So it's just about like when you read something back that you've done and you say, okay, if I really step outside of this
Yeah.
from a perspective of someone who's just, you know, in the crowd to see a show, are they gonna find that funny? And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 it's a hard no. So it's tough, man. But
Where do you find that balance? You think it's important to skip open mics sometimes? Does it like give you a bad barometer?
I think open mics are great for finding your voice
Yeah.
and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable on stage. Because face it, like a lot of these open mics, you're on stage and there's maybe 7 people in the crowd.
It's the same 7 people
Right.
every week. Yeah.
Can
So-
you name, just for the camera, all the comedy bookers who would like to call you and book you, who haven't booked you?
All the ones that haven't booked me.
But we want them to book you.
Because they're watching.
And they'll see this. We're trying to help you out.
I want to work for Conklin, Joe Conklin.
Yeah.
He's on my list, man.
You hear that, Joe?
Yeah, Parks Casino. I'm coming for you. Yeah.
You just did like a big corporate gig for like a missile company.
Yeah. It was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We had to drive through a snowstorm on Friday.
Wow.
It was horrible. And Baltimore doesn't have like the salt and the plows.
Yeah.
They were putting sand down on the streets.
Really?
That's their solution to the snow. Was beach sand. Thinking that, well, it's sand and maybe the summer will come back if we spray enough sand. And winter will know that, oh, it's sand, it's summertime again. But instead you just slide on the sand snow. But yeah, it was, they put me up in a Marriott.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was your first corporate gig?
That was my first corporate.
Wow.
Yeah.
The penthouse.
Not a penthouse. It was me and the headliner I rode up with. We shared the room. Separate beds. Separate beds. I would have took the gig even if it were one bed.
Is he a married man?
Would have spooned with him for this.
Is he a married man?
No, he's not married.
Ooh,
No,
excuse
yeah, he
me.
was very single. So, hey, I'm open to anything. Yeah, as long as it gets me the gig.
Nope, taken.
So what has been your favorite place to perform?
Oh man, I mean I love the cabaret.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that's like my home stage. But Punchline was really cool.
Yeah.
I opened for Jay Black at Punchline, and I also got on one of their the All Pro showcase that they
Nice.
run, and that's monthly. I think they do it on Thursdays. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday.
Mhm.
I think Wednesday.
I think it is a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Wednesday. That was really cool.
Yeah.
The place is brand new. It's in
Such a
Fishtown.
nice club.
Yeah, it's right across from Sugar House. I want to
Yeah.
say the casino.
Yeah. Have you
So-
been there yet?
Not.
No.
Yeah, any money you make at the gig, you can go right across the street and
Yeah.
lose on the
Love
slot
it.
machine. And it was fun, man. It was really cool.
And are you still taking care of your grandparents?
No.
No?
God is taking care of them.
Sorry.
So they are in great hands.
Just like he used to be a teacher. he also
I used to
take
have
care-
grandparents, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but rest their souls. They live on in my jokes.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
What
Yeah.
was that experience like?
That was crazy. That was crazy. They lived in my living room.
Oh my god.
They died in my living room, which
At the
is
same-
ironic, right?
Like close together.
Oh yeah, they were
Was
in
that
the.
a Charlie and
they
the
were-
Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, it was exactly like that. But nobody was singing and dancing. It was just like a lot of crapping their pants and crying.
Oh.
But yeah, they were roommates.
Yeah.
In our house, and it was crazy, man.
I've heard you describe it as your own personal 9/11 of sorts.
Yeah, I do. I have a very awful, horrible 9/11 joke that involves my grandmother, and if you want to hear it, you have to get lucky and just be at a show. I'm drunk enough to do it. I did it in New York when we were in New York.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you were drunk enough.
I was very drunk, and it came out. And I'm gonna tuck that one away for a while. I think after that.
You've been supportive of the younger guys than us coming up. I've got some
So much younger than you.
Says here.
I didn't write that. I don't know.
Less good than him.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Sure, I'll take that. Nice.
Well, you got us all on that cabaret contest.
Yeah. I want to get because you'll get booked.
Yeah.
That Andy Scarpati, he's always looking for new guys.
Mm-hmm.
Ramon ended up placing in one of those contests.
Yeah.
He's gotten guest spots in Doylestown. So it's just about being in front of him.
Yeah.
Who's the booker of the room, and if he thinks you can work that room, if your stuff, you got to be clean,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be relatable. It's a middle-aged crowd.
Yep. Definitely is.
So it's like.
Speaking of which, Andrew, did you get booked from that show?
Oh, one showcase so far.
Oh, that's
When's that?
I did it already, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Alright, you up?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a showcase?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, man.
That was through Darren. I don't think Andy likes me very much. This isn't on the show.
Was he there too?
No, I don't think he was. No, he wasn't there. He was at the contest.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Darren likes me. That's cool.
That's hey, he runs that room now.
Yeah.
Northeast Cabaret, so
Hopefully I hear from him again. But I did well again.
it's good, man.
Yeah.
No, you have a great set that is, I think, it's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
You talk a lot about, having kids,
Yeah.
being a young dad, working at a job you hate,
Yeah.
and you got great stage presence. So
Thank
you
you.
shouldn't be surprised, man.
I am surprised. But do you have any advice for the younger guys?
Just write about what you know.
Yeah.
Talk about what makes you, you.
Uh-huh.
Anybody can, not anybody, but like observational comedy, writing about stuff that maybe like.
Cotton balls.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody has a joke about a dog,
Yeah.
But then again, Chip Chantry has a joke about his own personal story of his dog.
Uh-huh.
If you've heard it, I don't know if you've ever heard
No.
the bit. He's got like copyrights and stuff, so I don't want to quote.
Wow.
But it's about personalizing your stories.
Mm-hmm.
It can't feel generic. If it's generic, people are gonna know.
Yeah.
If it's something that actually happened, it's only funny if it happened.
I've had a teacher tell me that. Do you think comedy classes are worth the... did you do that?
Never took one.
No. Did you do one?
No.
No.
I never took one. I think that if you're, I definitely think they can help.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the whole like business part of it.
Yeah.
Like when to get business cards, when to build a website. Because we've seen people that they're just doing open mics and they have a full-blown website now. Not to
Yeah.
name any names, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not,
I think he's a doctor.
Their own Facebook fan page.
but if you're not ready,
We got one of those.
They're opening LLCs to
Yeah,
keep
it's
their
crazy.
taxes separate.
but it's like you gotta go slow. You gotta have the time before you can have the promotional tools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
Do you have business cards?
I do have business cards.
Can I get one?
Absolutely. I don't have them on me. That's how I roll. Yeah.
Do you have a social media that we could put right here for the folks to read?
Oh yeah. So I'm at Troy_Moore
Okay.
on Twitter.
Underscore is important.
The underscore is important. That separates me from the Troy Moore who has the domain name. That he's a teacher in like Maine.
Really?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course he's a teacher.
He's got more followers than me too. He's doing something right.
He
Wow.
plugs his Twitter after every lesson.
Yeah.
That's smart.
It is.
You gotta plug your stuff.
You do when you're ready.
When you're ready.
Hey kids, check out my anal sex jokes.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well, thank you, man.
Hey, thank you for the
You came
second
back.
shot.
It means so much.
I thought that went, a lot better.
It did.
I don't look like. I mean, I still look like an asshole, but.
Look at us.
You look good.
We look good compared to
Thanks,
us. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Hey, we'll be
Hey.
right back.
People call you Jimmy?
No, that's my dad.